guys, welcome back to Millennials That Move. I am Amani, your founder and CEO. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to rent your first apartment in 2022. On this channel, we talk a lot about moving out of state, getting out of your comfort zone, and everything like that. So of course, with this journey comes first times. You're a first timer ultimately, and so I want to give you some tips on what you need to rent your first apartment and how to go about that. When I did it in 2019, when I first moved to Dallas, I did not know what to do or how to go about it, so of course I crawled so you could walk. First thing that you need to know before you move out of state is how much can you afford. So you need to determine your budget, and that's based on of course how much you bring in, how much you want to bring in, how much you plan to bring in. So even if you work like a full-time job, either go off of that, or if you work a full-time job and you plan to start a side hustle or a business, ultimately you need to know how much you're going to be bringing in, so how much you'll know you can afford to rent, if that makes sense. Once you determine how much you want to spend in a rent each month, I would recommend using a staffing agency. I use my friend that lives in Dallas to help me, but if you don't live in Dallas, you can also find a locator through Smart Apartment Locators, I think. And no, they did not sponsor this video. However, if they see this video, feel free to reach out. They will literally like reach out to you. You tell them your budget, where you want to live, which city, and they will find a place for you. They'll send you some options, and then you'll just go on tour, and that is how that will work. That's a big one to, you know, piggyback off of that. You have to know where you want to live. So if you want to move to Texas, you need to know, like, not only do you want to live in Dallas or Houston, but which like semi-city do you want to live in within those bigger cities. And you can do that by researching, you know, literally YouTubing, moving to Dallas, moving to Houston, moving to Miami. You can watch people who moved there tell their story and the pros and cons of living there. And if you guys are from my old channel, you know I literally did that. Or you can also visit. So find the right location. After that, you want to make sure that all of the apartments that you see have everything that you want in them, and that is, do you want a washer and dryer? Do you want a stand-up shower, or do you want a tub shower? Do you have enough space? Like, if it's just you and you don't need that much space, great. But if you have like children, or you have someone that's gonna move in with you, like a roommate, you need to make sure it's enough space for you. I know for myself, like, I really wanted a balcony, so you need to make sure like you're not settling with like, because what you want is out there. Like, it's out there. Don't settle until you find what you really want. And I also think, like, if you use Smart Apartment Locators, they can give you discounts versus just going to the property and renting from them. So yeah, keep that in mind too. And then you want to make sure that the location you live in is safe and secure. You want to make sure the apartment building is safe and secure. Okay, I know when I first was moving into my apartment, I would sometimes just drive up to the apartment complex and sit in my car and just like scope out the complex. I would literally do that. I would literally drive there at night, and just after work I would drive to that apartment building, and I would just sit and I would just scope out the neighborhood, and I'll be like, okay, it's pretty quiet, it's pretty peaceful. Okay. In turn, if I did that and it was like people outside shooting or people outside fighting, I would not be moving to that city. So just make sure that, that apartment. So just make sure that you are doing your due diligence and making sure that this is a safe and secure environment that you want to live in. The next thing I want to talk about is having a co-signer. So if you are young, if you're a millennial, if you're a Gen Z, whatever, you may not have built up enough credit. And so if you don't have enough credit, you will need a co-signer. If you have good credit, then you probably won't. For myself, I didn't need a co-signer because I had decent credit that I had been building for a few years, and I also had pay stubs, which, by the way, you will need pay stubs. Now, depending on which apartment you move into, they may require 2 months, 3 months, I don't really know, but you just have to make sure that you make at least 3 times the amount or 2 times the amount of rent in a month. And again, they will take your different sources of income. So if you work a 9 to 5, that's cool. If they don't take that, just make sure you're like, you have different ways to make money. And I actually posted a video on side hustles that you can start right now. So if you have a savings, I know they go based off of that. They go off of your pay stubs, but neither here nor there. If you don't make enough money, you can either get a co-signer if you don't have good enough credit, or if you don't have enough credit, you can get a co-signer. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Also, I do want to note that when you rent apartments, typically you do have to pay a security deposit. Also have to pay an application fee. So there's a lot of things that you do need to pay up front. So just making sure that you are aware of that and that you're ready for that, because yes, you do have to pay apartment application fees, and that isn't always fun, especially if you have multiple apartments that you like. So making sure that you find a locator to help you kind of narrow down like what you want is key, because yeah, if you're applying to different apartments, and also they're pulling your credit too. I don't know if it's a soft or hard like inquiry on your credit, but they're pulling your credit every time you apply. So yeah, that's all I have for this video. If you are new and not subscribed, make sure you guys subscribe. Also, if you're interested in coaching, let me know. You can click the link below or DM us on Instagram at millennials that move for all of your move out of state planning and mindset coaching. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.